Hey Tap Fam, Mike here. Do you want to fill your fridge with unique craft beers, ciders, or seltzers that you can't find locally? Then Tavour is your answer. I partner with them to bring you this exclusive offer for my Taproom listeners. When you use the promo code TAPROOM25, you get a $10 credit towards your next purchase when you spend $25 in the app or online. Tavour has it all, from IPAs to stouts, sours, ciders, and so much more. So make sure you use the promo code TAPROOM25 to get a $10 credit towards your next purchase. And now, on to the episode. All right, and we're back. This is episode 106. And this episode is with the great Cody Sherwood, one of the brewers at Wichita Brewing. He also has the Less Hate More Lager podcast. Honestly, he's a really social media extraordinaire as well. Just a really good dude, and we had a really fun conversation, so I'm excited for you guys to hear that. Man, it's been a busy couple weeks. I was in Arizona. Then I got back from Dallas from my trip out there. Got to record with Jacob over at On Rotation in Dallas. It was a really good dude. Got to hit up a few other breweries out there. Some really good barbecue. But yeah, I got back on my birthday on Friday, the 21st, and then took off to San Diego yesterday morning. I am pretty tired, not going to lie, but it was a really fun trip. The beers out in Dallas are really good. Obviously, the beers in San Diego were phenomenal. Went out there with the fam and friends, so it was really cool. Man, we went to 6 breweries yesterday total, I believe. Started off at Pure, and then went to Bay City, which is such a cool rooftop brewery that they have out there. And then after that, went to North Park. And then from North Park, we went to the little strip where it has Barley and Sword, Goal, and Seek. Super awesome. Just a great time. We did so there's going to be some beer reviews at the end of the interview. Maybe a couple musical numbers. Who knows? I had quite a bit to drink. I was pretty drunk at the end of the night, man. I was hurting. I didn't puke though. It's the first time in I don't know how many years going to San Diego. I did not puke. Can you believe it? Do you believe in miracles? It happened. So, like I said, this is going to be a short intro. I hope you guys enjoy the interview. I am out of gas. It's been, like I said, a really busy last few weeks. Oh, one more thing. People have been posting about the, Roots of Our Labor, the collab beer that we did, or that I did with Burning Daylight out in Lomita. Art's there today. So, at Good Gary on Instagram was there. A few other people that had, Memo Brew Style was there to try the beer and stuff like that, and people seem like they really like it, so that makes me happy. Maybe we'll do some more down the line. Dario and I have kind of talked a little bit, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm really stoked for that beer. I've been drinking it like crazy. I'm running low. I do have to go get another case. I was actually texting with Dario about that. I need to go get down there and get another one. But all right, I hope you guys enjoy the interview with Cody. Make sure you give him a follow. It's Cody_Sure, that's SURE, and then _Wood, WOULD. Just a really good guy, really fun conversation. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned for the outro and also the San Diego tour. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I'm your host, Mike, and I have a very special guest on the show today. I have Cody Sherwood of Wichita Brewing out in Wichita, Kansas. How's it going, brother?
Good. Thanks for having me on, dude. This is my only the second podcast I've ever been on other than hosting my own. So, I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah, because did you mention, do you record it with Wort Wrangler?
Yeah, he's still editing the episode. I would actually love to chat with people about editing. I don't edit anything. So if somebody flips up on my podcast, it's just going up. You have to deal with it.
No, I love that though, man, because I am the same exact way. I'll let them know, hey, if there's something you want me to take out, I'll take it out. But I just try to keep it as raw and as original as possible.
Yeah, I think that's the organic way of doing a podcast instead of like chopping it up. And to be honest, like the time I think it takes to do all that, like I'm not trying to sound lazy, but like I don't really want to sit through and do all that.
No, man, it's time consuming, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. It'll get big enough to where I make enough money brewing, I can pay someone to do that.
There you go. Oh man, so usually we start off with a beer. I'm gonna crack one open. Do you have a beer with you?
Dude, I gotta cleanse my body. I'm about to have the biggest bender of my life from this Saturday till about 7 straight days of a bender. I'm doing a little fundraiser this weekend. Obviously, gonna drink a shitload of lagers, and then I got my fest next weekend where brewers are coming in from all over to basically raising money for mental health, and I'm gonna be drinking from Wednesday to Sunday night.
Oh wow, that'll be a long one.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have a beer with you another time, but I need some water.
Oh no, all good, bro, all good. You know what? I was wondering because I was just about to pull off because it's one of my buddies does these beers, but it's one of the pull off taps,
Oh,
and the
shit,
thing just
those are
ripped
dope.
off.
Like
Yeah, but it just ripped off right now.
Yeah. I guess you're not having a beer either.
So Cody, man, tell us about how you got started in the craft, like or your craft beer journey.
Yeah, so it's not really. I kind of joke like it's the typical in the way of like I don't know how many kids grew up saying I'm going to be a brewer,
Yeah.
but I also never homebrewed either. So kind of how it started was I went out to college in Western Kansas and I was working at a brewery as just like a host, and the two brewers left to go start a brewery, and the owner was like, well, I want to train someone like super raw, that I can mold into being to brew the beers how I want them to be brewed. He's like a brew master, which I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but he was a true brew master. Like that guy knew his shit. Still to this day, probably one of the smartest people I've ever met in brewing. So he basically came to me at the host stand one day. He's like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, shit, I'm in trouble. Like, what? And he said, hey, you interested in brewing? And I was like, well, I was graduating that Saturday. I was actually going to be a social worker of all things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so this was on a Tuesday. I was graduating Saturday and starting at a law office on Monday to like be a caseworker. And I called my dad, who my dad has worked he worked one job his entire life until he retired. He was just in the Boeing spirit, like his entire life, made good money, necessarily didn't probably love his job, but that whole airline industry is kind of fucked. But I called him thinking he would tell me like, because I told the brewmaster, I was like, well, give me like a day to think about it, because honestly, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I called my dad, and my dad, I'm completely expecting him to tell me to fuck off. Like, what are you doing? You just went through 4 years of college.
Yeah.
No, what are you doing? And he actually said if I could go back, and he's already retired. Or no, he wasn't quite retired then, but he was like, if I could go back and take a chance on something that sounded cool, I would. So I was like, damn. Yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Yes, man.
So I went back to class on Thursday, and I told my advisor, I was like, hey, I know everything's set up, but like, I'm going to go brew beer. And they were like, you're going to do what? And they knew the brewery in town, and that brewery's been winning GABF medals since 2003, I think. So like, I couldn't have learned from a better guy. And so I started there just cleaning tanks and just kind of the bitch work stuff. And then when it came time to like him really retire, or like he was ready to retire, I was like nowhere near ready to take over the brewery. Like I was still just a fucking dumb college kid. Like, so he brought in a guy who could do more of like the taxes and the shit that I never want to do, the paperwork side of it, I guess. And
Okay.
it just didn't work out. I didn't really like working for him. So, well, actually, to be honest, they told me they'd put me on salary. So I quit my other two jobs. And then when I quit my other two jobs, the pay period that it was like supposed to be my salary.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, yeah, we talked to the board and it's actually not a good idea. So instead of just bitching about it, I was like, well, I'm going to go look for a new job. And so I reached out to Wichita Brewing Company where I'm at now, and they were hiring, or they were opening up a production facility at the time. And this is 2015, I think. And
Wow.
that's where I'm from. I'm from around Wichita. So I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I'm your guy. Came down, got absolutely shit faced with the owners. They liked me, hired me the next day.
Love it.
And then I told the brewery I was at, like, all right, yep, today's my last day. And they're like, well, it was like a classic, like, well, you can't just quit. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you guys kind of fucked me, to be
Yeah, I
honest with
can.
you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I worked Monday, told them I was out, and then I worked Tuesday at Wichita Brewing Company, so I didn't miss a day.
Dang. That's crazy, man. What a story. And honestly, kudos to your dad for saying like, fuck it, dude, do it.
Dude, I call him all the time, and I'm just like, dude, thank you so much, because I couldn't pick a better thing for me to do. And it's so funny because all my friends from high school who I haven't seen in, years and years are like, oh, what are you up to? And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm brewing beer. And they're like, that's not surprising. So it's like,
Yeah.
but it is like, they're like, that's cool. But like, I mean, we're not really shocked that's the career you're in. So yeah, I call my
Yeah.
dad and thank him all the time. And it's truly a blessing. And like, all those things don't go unnoticed. The same with those two brewers that quit to go start their own brewery. Anytime I see their
Mm-hmm.
beer on tap somewhere, I buy it, because like there is no chance I would have been a brewer if I wouldn't have been getting that opportunity. I was drinking Coors Light and Keystone Light
Yeah.
on the day they hired me. Like, so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just small blessings like that, like all, I guess, stars align type shit.
Oh man, that's cool. I mean, and a lot of times, like like you said, like with your dad, like how he was had a steady job, and like a lot of times I feel like I see the older generation, it is about that steady job, steady paycheck and stuff like that. But like I said, I mean that's really, really that not many dads would do something like that. So kudos to him again.
Yeah, I mean, that was also back when they could buy a house with their fucking lunch money.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, yeah, I was super grateful for that. I think about it all the time, to be honest with you.
That's cool, man. So you've been at Wichita for how many years now? Is it 9 years?
Coming up on it'll be coming up on 9 in February. So yeah, production facility is the complete opposite of the brew pub I was at. We're just a warehouse, just cranking out a bunch of beer. I mean, I don't know. We do a whole lot of funky shit, to be honest with you. I just brew hot. I'm just hot side brewer. So
Okay.
I just brew what they tell me to brew, and then I have my fun with it. So we're kind of like contract brewing some stuff for some people. We've bought two breweries that went out of business, and we brew their brands now.
Okay.
One of them was completely fucking stupid to buy, but you know, I'm just a hot
Is
side
what it
brewer,
is.
um, But yeah, I mean, we're just production brewery, and then we have two brew pubs that we supply. So, I mean, it stayed pretty busy. Our best year was like, I think, close to 6,000 barrels.
Wow.
And then obviously it's kind of dipped a little bit, but there's only like 3 or 4 of us really. So, I mean, we got a really tight crew, and I love working there.
That's awesome, man. And I mean, I feel like I know you mentioned the medals. I feel like like you guys win a medal for either a WBC or GABF like every year. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty fortunate in that. I joke all the time it would be nice to win something of a beer that moves fucking volume, but no, we
Hmm.
choose to take English brown ale route and the English style barley wine and old ales and things like that. So
Yeah. Are those styles though? Like obviously, like being in the Midwest, are those styles like really? Do you feel like they're a lot more popular there, or are you seeing like an
no,
uptick like on loggers and stuff?
no. I mean, those styles, I think we just brew those styles of beers really well. I know Wichita water is set up for dark beers pretty well, like the
Okay.
water chemistry for it. But I think we just have a really good recipe for all those beers. I think for barley wine, in my opinion, like complexity and age is really what's going to make the barley wine. And that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to die on any hill, but
No, yeah.
I think the same with like a brown ale. Like, of course you could just put some fucking chocolate malt and some caramel malt, but like having it really dialed in I just think we have it locked in because we've entered that beer. So we won in 2017 and we've entered it in basically every year since then. And we've never not even made we've never not made the final table. So like it's a very unique beer and it's just crisp, clean. I mean, I guess as far as brown ales go, I
Yeah.
don't know how many people are raving about brown ales, but I mean, if you're just going by awards, I mean, it's got to be the best brown ale in the world.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I love a good brown ale. You just don't see them out here as often. Like every once in a while, you'll see like a brown or a red or like a black lager on a menu or black IPA on a menu, but you just don't see them as often out here, I feel like.
Sure. And I mean, I don't blame anyone for not carrying brown ale.
Yeah.
When we won our first GABF medal with Wichita Brewing in 2017, our owner got so excited. He's like, "Oh, this beer is going to fly." He ordered, I think, 50,000 printed cans.
Oh, shit.
Not even 1 year later, we weren't even brewing it anymore. And so we
Wow.
had a ton of cans, and not luckily, but like COVID happened and we were able to label over a bunch of those and no one was really throwing a fit.
Mm,
So like that's
yeah.
how we got rid of those cans.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, at least they were put to good use, right?
Yeah, no, they did get used, but it was just like
Yeah.
he's saying, "Oh fuck, yeah, we're about to move so much beer." And our sales rep, she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god, my job just got a lot easier." And I'm like, lady, first of all, nobody cares. The consumer does not give a shit about GABF or World Beer Cup medals. I promise you, they do
Yeah.
not, and they probably care even less about brown ales.
Oh man, what are some of your favorite styles to brew though? Like brew, well, we'll say brew and drink.
I mean, to be honest, people ask me that about brew. Like, it doesn't really matter what I'm brewing. The
Okay.
sequence is the same.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the IPAs spraying all those hops out of the bottom, or the more grain that I have to rake out is, I mean, more or less. So each batch is about like anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,500 pounds on our system, and I do not have rakes. So yeah, but I mean, no styles. I don't really favor a style brewing over, like, I just like to brew, to be honest with you. I think
That's
it's
cool.
absolutely crazy when you find brewers that are so egotistical that they just like get fed up of, "Oh, I have to brew my beer, my recipe." It's like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
I just like brewing.
Yeah.
I'm decent at it. I like the process. It's still interesting to me that I walk in and see those shiny tanks mashing in. Always, I'll never get tired of that smell. Yeah, so yeah, no preference on brewing, but then obviously drinking, like, I just appreciate lagers so much more now.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I just, love a good, I mean, Italian pills these days, or just classic, Helles. Yeah, I mean, I just
A good
appreciate the
Kolsch.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kolsch, because I'll be honest with you, there's some Kolsch's in town that are not very good.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. That's kind of like where I'm at too. It comes to like the loggers and stuff like that. That's why I mean I thought it was cool because especially because you have like your show is like less hate more lager,
Mhm.
more loggers. So I mean loggers have always been kind of like a big thing for me. It's like that and West Coast IPAs I love. But even going back to what you were saying about how like the egos can kind of get in the way sometimes, where people get so set in their ways and they're not willing to change. They're not willing to change with the times. And you like in brewing, you have to. It's like you have to adapt or die. Like if you're not putting out stuff that people want to drink, then you're not going to be around much longer.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's examples of, I could name a couple people who they want to brew smoothie sours. They want to brew, cherry cheesecake, milkshake
Yeah.
IPAs. And they just kind of want to be like hype brewers or whatever. And yeah, like, why don't you just dial in your house IPA recipe? Because I'll be honest, man, you guys are spoiled as fuck out there in California with IPAs, I'm sure.
Yeah, we are.
We're not as spoiled out here with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of dud IPAs around Kansas,
Mm.
and it's unfortunate to go to we have like our one craft brewers conference or craft brewers expo each year. It's all the Kansas brewers pour, and I find these new breweries there. I try their shit, and I'm like, guys, we gotta nip it. We gotta figure out what's wrong here because this is just looking bad on this beer. So we try to help them as much as we can, but like, I'm excited to try a new IPA, and then I'm just like, fuck, that's not, I don't even know if that's an IPA. I
Yeah.
don't know what that was.
Hey, but honestly, that's cool. I mean, like, it's cool that, like, even for you, like, you're willing to, like, if you're out there trying different things, but you're willing to, like, say, like, hey, man, we got to dial this in because, like you said, people get set in their ways and they just put it out there, and there you go.
Sure. And I think it's a little bit different for like Kansas as opposed to like where are you located at?
I'm in Southern California, like
SoCal.
LA County, Orange County.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got good IPAs and good beer around every corner. So people are spoiled with good beer. Like, we always kind of joke around here, like, a small town brewery, a town of 500 to 1,000 people, they might not know what good craft beer tastes like. They might just think
Yeah.
that shitty brewed IPA is like what good beer is, and then they just enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like a mind trick, I guess. Like, they just think they see the word craft and they say, "Oh, this is a really good IPA." When in reality, if they had like some of the better IPAs in Kansas, they'd be like, "Oh, what the hell is that? What the fuck was that?"
Yeah. So speaking of Kansas, I know we talked a little bit off air because my mom being in Overland Park, every time I would go out there, I try to go to different breweries. Oh, but the one I remember specifically was Boulevard.
Yep.
I want to say I had a stout and maybe I'm trying to remember. It was so long ago, but I remember having a good time and having some good beer there. I remember leaving with
When
a
were you
buzz. It
there?
was a good day. Man, I want to say it was probably back in like 2018.
Okay, so that whole like the Kansas side of Kansas City brewery wise has been blowing up probably since 2019, because I know a bunch of
Okay.
homies up there who multiple of them opened like late 2019, early 2020, and they just had to deal with COVID right off the bat. But yeah, I mean, the Kansas City scene is blowing up. I mean, I hate to give them the credit, but the Chiefs being good helps business. Like,
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I mean, that's no shocker that people drink more when the local team is doing good. But
I bet. And I'm trying to remember there was one other brewery, but I remember going to this place called Tanner's. It was like a sports bar all the time, but they always had a pretty decent craft beer selection on tap.
yeah, I mean, Boulevard pretty much owned that market for a long time, and they still do. I mean, they're obviously a powerhouse up there, and they brew clean beer all around. It's kind of funny. I love him to death, but this fucking dude, the fact that he's like the barrel manager, this dude runs all the barrels at Boulevard. Like, he is in charge. Like, he has
Okay.
people calling him sir and stuff. But this fucking guy, I swear, he is like, I wouldn't trust him babysitting my dog. But this dude is
Oh no.
he is the real deal when it comes to barrels. Like,
Okay.
I thought he was joking with me when he's like, "Oh yeah, I got promoted to this and that." And I'm like, "No, you fucking didn't." And we go up there, they have a big beer fest, and he's showing us around. He's got people calling him sir, yes, sir. Like, I was like, no fucking way, dude. But,
It happened.
respect to him. I mean, they're doing some really good barrel aged stuff. I don't appreciate it as much because I don't really love stouts as much as people do. But they released like a beer that was like 1 year in Pappy barrels, 2 years in this, like it was like 3 years worth of barrels, just a big ass imperial stout. And I don't know if it was like the hype that people enjoyed that beer for, or if it was really good. I mean, I don't drink enough imperial stouts to judge the difference. So
Same. Yeah, I can have like do like a bottle share. Like I can have like a maybe 4 or 5 ounce pour, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good.
yeah, I mean, at some point they all taste the same to me,
Yeah.
but I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying.
No, yeah, no, for sure. No, but everybody has their, has their taste. But I mean, yeah, it's just for me, like I can only handle so much of it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What's so I mean, you started off brewing and stuff like that. Like I know you were drinking the Keystone Light and like all that sort of stuff you were mentioning. Was there like a beer for you that, man, like this is what beer could be, kind of thing?
I guess like Blue Moon was like kind of like, okay, this is craft beer and this tastes different, and like maybe I
Mm-hmm.
could get into it. But like the first beer, my first day on the job, the boss sat me down. He goes, "Oh, let's have a beer." And I've never drank a craft
Okay.
beer in my life, right? You know what he hands me? A
Hmm.
fucking black IPA.
Oh, yeah,
And
there
I
you go.
had to sit there and choke this fucker down as if I like this beer. And I'm like, with every sip, I'm like, what the fuck is this, you know? And
Yeah.
got it down. And he goes, "Well, what'd you think of that?" Because I told him I wasn't much of a craft beer guy, or I was not a craft beer guy at all. And he goes, "That's fine. Like, that's perfect because you're not going to have an ego about it. You know, I'm going to teach you how to brew the beer I want brewed here." And I told him, I go, "Gerald, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I don't want another one." And so he gave me they would do like a lemon shandy, basically just
Okay.
mix lemonade with the wheat beer. And I was like, okay, well, I can drink that. That's kind of like a Blue Moon. And kind of just went from there. So kind of started with like a lemon ale, and then eventually got an amber ale, then IPA, and then stout, and then just kind of started getting into the whole scene, and that's when I grew more interested in it. But yeah, I guess Blue Moon lemon ale type beers would have been my first intro into craft beer
Okay.
by default.
No, no worries. Do you remember like your first brew, like your first like pro brew that you did?
Yeah, it was a rye, or I guess, I mean, it wasn't my recipe, but like the first time I brewed by myself with no one watching or help me, like my first one was just like a big rye. Honestly, I didn't love the beer at the time either, but it was
Mhm.
just, I'll never forget that because it was my first brew of start to finish without any help. I didn't ask any questions from mill to getting into the fermenter. So it was called, what was it? It's called like Mass Hysteria Rye. We don't brew it anymore because I don't think people appreciate those beers either. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was, I guess, my first pro brew, and that was at Wichita Brewing Company. So, I mean, at at Gella's Diner and LB Brewing Company, that's the one I started at. I was just basically doing
Okay.
like a lot of the grunt work, hopping in the kettle, cleaning fermenters, and then he would like run the recipes and things like that. So I was more learning at the first brewery. I was more learning, or no, I wasn't really learning. Honestly, I was just working, like I was
Gotcha.
doing what I was told. And then when I got to Wichita is when I really started like, okay, this is recipe. This is why this happens. This is starch conversion. This is, yeah, like, and then it made me interested to like kind of be on my own without having to ask so many questions.
Yeah, that's great, man. One thing I was love to ask someone too, like, I mean, obviously you've been there for about almost 9 years, you said. If you could collab with any brewery in the world, like what would, I mean, it could be, in the world or in the United States or wherever, like who would you want to collab
Oh
with or what brewery would you
man.
want to collab with?
Um,
I know it's a
I
tough question.
I think probably Maine Beer Co. because
Okay.
I talked to these guys for like My brother lives up in Portland, Maine, so I visit him a little bit, and I was up there visiting my homie who runs a malt house up there too. And then they took me to Maine Beer Co., which I don't know if it gets much cleaner than Maine Beer Co. when it comes to beer. I really don't.
Okay.
And their brewer and production manager were having a beer, and my buddy introduced me to him. And I mean, just like the 20, 30 minutes I was just chatting with him. I mean, just so down to earth, super knowledgeable. I mean, friendly. I wasn't like nerding out or anything, but I just feel like if I had like a whole brew day with those guys,
Yeah.
I could learn so much to like, I guess I wouldn't quite compare it to that old meme that say, would you rather take $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z type thing? But I just feel like
Yeah.
if I had a day to just drink beer and brew with like those Maine Beer Co. guys, I mean, it would be so
Yeah.
beneficial. I guess selfishly, I mean, they wouldn't get shit out of it other than I might make them laugh maybe. But yeah,
There you
probably
go.
Beer Co. to be honest.
Yeah. Honestly, though, man, speaking of making people laugh, like, I mean, I always try to, like, anybody listening, like, it's Cody underscore sure underscore wood on Instagram. And then it's another underscore, or is it just stop
Just
sign
Cody
wood?
underscore sure underscore wood.
Okay. Yeah, and it's spelled SURE and then underscore WOULD. But it's, man, like the memes you put out every day, or I always wonder, like, because I always think I'm busy. I was like, how does he come up with the time to do this?
Well, a lot of that shit, people ask me that all the time. And I honestly, I crank those things out like in 30 seconds. I have like the app.
Oh man.
So it's like,
Oh, okay.
I obviously use the same stock image. And it's honestly just when shit happens throughout my day. I mean, all that shit is
Mm-hmm.
based on true events. So I think that's why it
Yeah.
like connects with people because it's like things that are like it's true things. And I was just like, I don't know. I'm just gonna put out some. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could tell. Like, I just love putting out positive vibes to the world,
Yeah.
laughing, never take shit too serious, which some people get annoyed by. They're just like, dude, do you take anything serious? And I'm like, I mean, not much. Like, if I need to, maybe,
Yeah.
but there's not much I need to. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, I think it's funny and it's good engagement. Like, honestly, the amount of fucking people I've met in this industry just through networking, through Instagram, like just chatting it up from the stupid shit I post to the stories to the memes and things like that. Like, I truly believe social media can be as useful or as hurtful as you want to make it to be. Like, if you want to use it to compare yourself to everyone else or think that these people are doing better than you or less or this and that, like
Mm-hmm.
you should just not have it. But if you want to use it to just like
Exactly.
laugh and connect with people, I mean, Jesus Christ, like I'm in Wichita, Kansas. You're in SoCal. Like we're just connecting
Mm-hmm.
on a random ass Tuesday, you know?
Yeah.
And the power of social media is crazy. And I love just putting shit out there. So I just try to stay consistent with it. And yeah, I'm having fun with it. When I stop having fun with it is when I'll stop doing it.
Oh yeah. And I feel the same way about this show. Like because I mean, I put out an episode every week, and people ask, like, how do you, like, I've had people ask, like, oh, how do you not get burnt out? But I mean, I love doing it. So, like, and like, so, to your credit, like what you said right now about, it's a random Tuesday. We've never met each other before. We've exchanged a few messages on
Yeah.
Instagram and just able to have a conversation and, about an industry we both love. I mean, what's better than that?
Yeah, nothing. So how long have you been doing the podcast?
So this one I've been doing, it'll coming up on the 2-year anniversary in February.
And you stayed pretty
Uh,
consistent, an episode a week?
yeah, I do one episode every week. Yeah.
Sure. That's what I'm trying to stick with mine. I started out doing 2 episodes a week, and then I was like,
Hmm.
okay, that's just not super
That's tough.
realistic. I feel like I'd know enough people to where I could get some episodes, but then I wouldn't say burned out, but I'd probably be like, well, damn, I don't have an episode for tomorrow. I got to
Hmm.
scramble and get someone when it's like 52 episodes a year seems very attainable.
Oh yeah, and I love that. And that's actually what I was going to ask you about next. Like, when did you just like podcasting? I feel like I know like it is super popular to do, but I just feel like some people kind of talk about doing it, but then there's people that actually get out there and actually do it. So what was it like? When did that like the idea of doing a show like kind of resonate or like the ball start rolling for you?
Honestly, it's kind of what you were just saying. Like, you get drunk with your friends, everyone wants to start a podcast, right? Oh, we should do a podcast,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But so I used to do a joint podcast with our brewery owner, and I told him I would get guests and basically control the conversation, but he's got to do the digital shit. He's got to upload it. He's got to do the editing or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
and I told him, I said, if you miss a week, I'm done. Cause like, if I'm going to do something,
Yeah.
I'm all in. And so
Same.
he missed a week, and I was like, okay, dude, I'm done. And he goes,
Yeah.
no, don't. And then he goes, give me another chance type thing. And he missed another week. And I was like, okay, dude, I'm done. I
Yeah.
don't want to, because I'm trying to grow it. You can't grow it without being consistent. So then this pretty expensive equipment, I'm not going to lie, that I have, I mean, I don't even think he knows it's gone. But so I took it and I started my own, or I basically kind of what triggered me. I used to date this girl who, I mean, she was no good for my fucking life. I'll tell you that. And I'm glad that's gone. But I wanted to
Yeah.
do a podcast for a long time. And anytime I would talk to about it with her, she'd be like, oh, you're just going to fucking drink beer and talk to people and like just super negative. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
actually, that's exactly what I'm going to fucking do. Drink beer and talk to people. Well, one time she went through my phone and saw a text or an Instagram message from a girl, and it said, I love your content. You should totally start a podcast. I would be a guest. And she fucking woke me up to that message one day and was like,
Uh-oh.
what the fuck is your problem? Are you fucking podcasting with just a bunch of whores? And I was like, okay, well, like this is like, I'm done. And then like
Wow.
that pretty much resulted in a split amongst a whole bunch of other shit. But I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going all in. I'm doing the podcast. So I just started hammering it out. Like I said, I learned how to use this equipment, got a bunch of homies on. The quality at first was terrible. I mean, I'm still working on that, but I need to get that dialed in amongst all the other shit I got going on. But yeah, just consistency. I believe consistency wins in anything in life, because you can't compete with someone who just shows up every day, because a lot of people don't show up every day for stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to grow the brand, obviously do some more cool shit with it. And I mean, there's a ton of brewing podcasts that can exist. Or that was another thing too. I looked at brewing podcasts. Some of them, I won't name any names, but some of them are pretty fucking snooze festy.
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily think people give a shit about water chemistry on a 1 hour podcast. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But like the mix in of just like conversations and stories and things like that, I think ultimately wins. I mean, I know some brewers who only listen to podcasts on brew day. I know some brewers who only listen to Billy Strings or whatever, So there's still plenty big market for brewing podcasts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like one of the reasons, like even well, for my show, like I mean, when I used to listen to like the Nerdist podcast and with like Chris Hardwick way back when, and like other people, and they would just have random guests, and it got to the point where I didn't know. I started off listening just for like the Tom Hanks episode or like or a specific actor kind of episode or stuff like
Sure.
that. But then eventually you build that trust, and they'll listen to anyone you have on, and that's kind of where it went with me, because I always felt like all these other like people or like celebrities have their like platform to tell a story. Is like I want a platform to tell like a brewer story, an owner story, or how they got to where they are. And like and if it motivates one person to get out there and try something that they love, even if it's not brewing, then that's what it's all about.
Dude, I couldn't agree with you more on that. Like, when people are like, dude, why do you post every day? Why do you do this and that? And I would say, well, one, it's easy and I like to stay consistent. And if it changes one fucking person's morning, one person's
Mm-hmm.
day, like I feel good about that. And I don't think that's egotistical at all to like want to try to help change or like change people. So yeah, I mean the industry we're in too is such a unique one. I've said this probably a
Mm-hmm.
million times on my podcast. Like it's such
Yeah.
a unique industry that everyone, like the alcohol industry is just, it's fucking crazy, man. The term I use
Yeah.
is like, if someone came into work and wanted to start shotgunning barley wines at 7 a.m., honestly, as long as you're washing your kegs and getting your stuff done, no one cares. Like they're not gonna care,
Yeah.
or at least
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't. Like if you're getting your stuff done, pound away, pour yourself a barley wine at 6 a.m. Like who cares?
Yeah.
But then there's that flip side too. Like, have you worked at breweries before, or are you?
No, man. It was never like I just would go to breweries all the time, and
Same.
me and my brother, we had a beer review podcast called Taps and Tailgates, and then everybody, like, and it was my buddy and then another person, my other cousin, that they all quit. So I was like, well, I wanted to go into this direction where it's at now, but yeah. So I've never worked in the industry before.
Okay. Have you ever wanted to?
Yeah. You know what? I mean, if I was like, I always told myself, like, if I was going to do something like that, I would probably want to do like the marketing side for it,
Okay.
something like that. And you know what? I actually don't even think I've ever admitted that to anybody. So there you go.
Got you out here admitting so you can get some job offers.
Yeah. Yeah. So something like that. But I mean, like, I'm just grateful. Like, I mean, we can talk about the craft beer community all day. It's the best industry in the world to
Oh,
me.
the best. Absolutely the best, man. I can't say that enough about the industry, going to GABF, going to CBC. For the most part, there's this old phrase like this industry is 99% asshole free.
Mm-hmm. That's what I always say too.
Yeah, I mean it's like a pretty big thing in our industry. It's like, yeah, 99% asshole free. And I think for the most part, we all got each other's backs, but then of course, there's like ego brewers or people who are
Hmm.
just shitty people. But I mean, you're probably gonna find that in
Yeah.
any industry.
Yeah, it's like you have everybody, like even every family has a couple. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's you got to make your way to Kansas, man. I think we have the best brewing community in like all of the United States. Like when people come here, they're just like, I can't believe you guys all hang out together, this and that. Like
mhm.
I know there's people who like hang out in California and that, but it might just be too big of a space to really like I guess have a really good community on like a weekly basis. Like here in Wichita,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
we just had our brewers Christmas. Like we were able to have every single brewery in Wichita come over and do a gift exchange. And we fucking
That's awesome.
raged. And a couple of like the highlight gifts where somebody brought a live scorpion, somebody brought like an eighth of weed as a gift. Like,
Wow.
I mean, just like great, funny dudes. And we're able to get together. I mean, we try to get together like 3 times a year. Like I don't feel like many, if any, brewing communities for like a town do that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not realistic with like SoCal, but I just think that's what makes
Yeah.
us unique is we're such a tight group here. Everyone's trying to help each other. Everyone critical. If they see something wrong, they're like, dude, I could tell this beer tastes like this because I mean, there was a brewery in the very beginning who was basically cleaning and rinsing their tanks with cold water and caustic, which obviously you need
Wow.
hot water to activate that.
Yeah.
And so when they were like, "Damn, why does your beer taste like, whatever?" And then they're like,
Yeah.
"Walk us through your brewing process." And like, "Dude, no, you gotta use hot water, brother." And
Yeah.
that pretty much has fixed it. And he's been making solid beer ever since. Fucker even won a JBF medal one year.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
And
tight, man. I urge everyone to make a trip to Wichita, Kansas for craft beer. I've been trying to
I'm
get
so in.
World Beer Cup. craft brewers conference here for many years, but no one's responded to my fucking emails.
Honestly, it's good. How far is Wichita from, say, like Overland Park or like Kansas City?
I mean, about 3 hours.
Oh,
It's
that's not bad at all.
2.5, 3, probably 2.5 from Overland Park, 3 to like the heart of KC.
Okay.
One of our guys at work, he's Chiefs season ticket holders, and he drives up to every game in the morning and drives back every night, like after the game.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's not,
Crazy.
it's an easy fucking drive. I mean, I'm sure you guys are used to traffic. We don't really have traffic.
Oh yeah.
So like 3 hours to drive to Kansas City is nothing to us, to be honest.
Oh yeah, no, it's not bad at all. Because I want to say like, yeah, where my mom's at, it's about 40 minutes like away from the airport.
Yeah.
But there's never any traffic, so it's like unless there's snow on the ground, you might have to drive slow. But that's about
Yeah,
it.
dude. This storm that we got hit with over this weekend was fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
And
I saw pictures my mom sent me. I was like, oh shit.
Well, she probably got it. They got it the worst up there, but we caught some down here in Wichita, and it's pretty tough scene, and it's kind of funny. So every year I have a mental health beer fest down here in Wichita, and I got a bunch of people flying in and things like that. This is the 5th year, or the 4th year, and every single year there's been a terrible winter storm the week before or after. Like every fucking year. So like I don't know.
It's just a tradition now.
Yeah, but like but it's looking to be like 55 next week. So like
yeah.
I think just putting good vibes in the air is kind of crazy, but I also wondered like what would I do if like all this snow was on the ground? Like would people still come to the fest? Like surely. I mean they'll find a way to get there.
Oh yeah. If there's beer, they will come.
I agree. What kind of, is there like some big ass beer fests in SoCal? Like what's the biggest one in SoCal?
Oh man, there's always like the Orange County, like the guild, like the guild has theirs. The LA County has theirs. LA's was in June, and it was nice because it was like in Long Beach, which is, I don't know. Have you been to the SoCal area?
No, I'm gonna come in June. I'm gonna make like week and a half ish time off work and try to do some collabs out there, like Long Beach. Make my way up to like Clovis and like just take like a week and a half and just really, because I've been like talking to a lot of California brewers recently, and I'm like, I got to get out there. Like I haven't been out there in so long.
In Clovis, are you going to go with Machine Head or who are you going with?
It would be either 14 Cannons or Crow and Wolf, whichever one of those is in Clovis.
Oh, okay. Both phenomenal. They make great beer.
Yeah, those two dudes are flying in next week to come to Wichita. And I don't know if their little fucking California bodies can handle this weather, but we're going to find out.
Hopefully they're all right. I'm sure they will be. But going back to your question, yeah, like the Long Beach one was really fun because it was nice because it was right on the water. Like it was like in the dead of summer. Oh, not the dead of summer, but in June. So like it was really nice outside. It felt like it was 70 degrees when like if you drive 20 minutes inland, it would have been like 85 or 90.
When is that one? It's in like June?
It's usually in June, yeah.
Oh, damn. I might have to just wrap my trip around that then. I've still never been to a beer fest that I wasn't pouring at.
Okay. Well, hey, man, honestly, man, whenever you come out, just let me know. Just shoot. You can either email me or shoot me a text or whatever, and we'll have a beer, have a few beers together.
For sure, dude. I need to. Obviously, the California beer scene is great, but I feel like I couldn't do what I want to do in a weekend or even like 3 or 4 days out there, or like see all the people I want to see.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just no chance with traffic and things like that. Like I need like a week and a half.
Yeah, for sure. The good thing, the weekends aren't as bad, so it should be like depending on when you come out. But yeah, for sure. Like, if you can come out for the LA Guilds Festival, it's pretty fun. There's a lot of really good breweries at that festival.
Sure. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, everyone from like the Midwest is obviously like, fuck, I'll never go to California. It's so sketchy, this and that. I'm like, Dude, honestly, all the fucking homies I know there send me pics that look fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
California still seems fun to me.
No, yeah, I mean, it's fun, like, outside of all the bullshit, it's a it's a great place to live in. The good thing is it's, like, sunny 340 days a year, it feels
Yeah.
like, if not,
Yeah,
I
I could
mean,
deal with that.
so, yeah. I don't wanna keep you too long, but I just have a couple more questions for you.
Oh, dude, no, I'm in
The
no
last
rush.
couple. Oh, sweet. No, I was just trying to be mindful of everybody's time. I try not
Dude,
to take
that's
too much time.
I I I love that too because that's like my
Yeah.
absolute main thing in since I
Yeah.
started a podcast and like that I've been doing beer fest and stuff. Nobody respects people's fucking time anymore, man. They
Yeah.
don't. People are fucking late. People cancel
Mhm.
for not good reasons. I'm sure you found that out in your 2 years of podcasting of like
Yeah.
people are not super mindful of people's time. So yeah,
Mhm.
trust me, I understand that for sure. And that's awesome. I love hearing that because you're one of the rare ones.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, it's just to me, it's like they're setting aside time for me. I need to make sure that I am on time and ready to go, and I don't want because sometimes people have a hard out, and that's why I always try to ask in the beginning of, like, "Hey, do you have something you gotta do? Do you have like how much time do you have?" Or
No.
even talk about that ahead of time too,
Sure.
just to be able to make sure because you don't wanna you don't wanna take advantage of anybody.
No. And I know honestly this is the last day until after my fest where I don't have shit to do on a night, so it was perfect.
No, well, I appreciate it, man. One of the questions I love to ask is, what was your worst brew day?
Oh man. Probably either something with a stuck oh no, actually duh. Pumpkin. We do a pumpkin beer, right? And for
Oh, man.
whatever reason, this beer is like you would think when we release this beer, you would think we were like Pliny the Elder release or, you know, Treehouse release or something like that, right?
Okay.
Does not make sense to me at all. It's just a fucking pumpkin beer, dude. We brew it with pumpkin, but we put a bunch of pumpkin in the mash, right? Well,
Yeah.
we didn't have rice holes at the time, and I
Uh-oh.
go, how bad could it be, you know? Bro, I think it was close to 6-hour louder. Yeah, basically I had to disconnect some pipes and basically make my
Wow.
own grant. Like, I don't know if you heard me talk about it before, but like we I have the biggest piece of shit 20-barrel brew house on the planet. And the fact that we're able to brew world-class beer on this thing is like, I don't know. It makes me think beer is way more resilient than people think.
You guys are wizards out there.
We try, but yeah, this thing's just a piece of
Yeah.
shit. And yeah, I mean, the mash got stuck. Pumpkin just gummed up the mash. And yeah, it was like a 6-hour louder. So I was there it was like a fucking 16-hour single brew day, which is not
Oh,
fun.
damn. Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
that's about as worst. One time I guess the biggest fuck up I ever had was I dry hopped the wrong tank.
oh, shit.
I dry hopped a 60-barrel West Coast IPA hop schedule into a 20-barrel brown ale.
Oh, fuck.
So we just fired up the centrifuge real quick and centrifuged it out. And yeah, I mean, so I didn't have much contact time with it at all. But
Oh, that's good.
I mean, yeah, I mean, 100 some pounds of hops got wasted.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Do you have any advice for me on Saturday? Because I'm doing my first brew day on Saturday.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You tapping into the homebrew scene?
No, so I'm doing a collab it's going to be a
Oh,
collab between the podcast and a brewery. Yeah.
nice. What brewery?
Burning Daylight in Lomita.
No. The advice I'd give to any brewer ever, like,
Yeah.
just clean your fucking stuff. Like, a clean brew,
Yeah.
you could have one of the worst recipes ever written. But if you have a clean path for everything, like I say this all the time, it is not hard to brew a drinkable beer. It's hard to brew
Mhm.
like a holy shit, this is world class. IPA, this is world class. Saison, this is world class. Some of those beer styles, but it is not hard to brew a clean beer. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. Someone may say I'm wrong, but one of the rules I just say, if you want to make it in the industry, there's just like 3 things you got to do. Don't be racist, don't be sexist, and clean your fucking heat exchanger. Like, you'll be okay.
There you go.
Those 3 things.
There you go.
So, yeah, I guess really, if nothing else, just clean your fucking heat exchanger. I guess if you really want to simplify it down to like one thing, make sure your heat exchanger is clean.
Gotcha. What if someone was wanting to start a podcast? What would you tell them?
Yeah, go all in. Stay consistent with it. I listen to a lot of people who bitch. Like, some people would say, like, and they're totally right. Like, sometime early on, I would get guests who were like, I would tell them, when I get guests, I say, as long as you're in a quiet room and you speak clearly into the mic and you're not like walking around, like, it's gonna sound fine. There's motherfuckers who are like out walking their dog talking to me on the podcast. Like, traffic is going on. I'm like, what the? And then people in the comments are like, dude, that fucking dude was obviously walking around. The audio sucked. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you're right. But yeah, I guess just, if advice to people starting a podcast, just like do it. Like, pull the trigger. Go.
Yep.
Buy some equipment. It's everywhere. Dip your toes in, and then get you a social media presence like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of more
shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I mean, I'm sure there's been a million people you've been doing for longer than me. Like, oh, I could start a podcast. It's like, well, then do it. Go. Well, I'm waiting. I'll listen to it. I'll be your first guest. Like,
yeah.
But it's sad because, and that was something I kind of thought of when I was first pulled the trigger to actually was doing it. I go, I've been saying this for a year and a half since I stopped doing the other one. Like, what could this have already been in that year and a half I've been talking about it? And like, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, I'm a little over a year in on mine, and I like have so much planned for this year, and like, I'm just like super excited to like grow it, and like, it's just exciting. When in reality, what if I never would have started a year ago? So
that's awesome, man. And I mean, knowing like, I mean, just like the stuff that you put like on social media and stuff like that, like your content, I know it's going to be, I mean, it's only going to continue to get bigger and better. And if you ever need someone if you ever just like, oh man, I had a guest cancel and need someone to jump on.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man.
I'd be more than happy to jump in there with you, just because, I mean, thankfully, I've only ever had a couple of people cancel. And other than that, most of the people have been everybody's been really great. And that's why, I love this industry so much. So,
yeah. And what's fun about it is like, I guess I haven't listened to too many episodes of yours, but it's great to like, it's not strictly just beer shit. And then you can talk to brewers about like, life stuff. And it's not, not every brewer has the same job. Not everybody is the brewer. Some people are the packager. Some people are the sales. Well, actually, I don't even know if I've talked to a sales rep yet, but no, it's a great industry. It's great.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was just gonna say, one of the things I always mention is that like everybody's destination is the same. Like, either they want to start brewing, or they want to own a brewery, or they want to do something like that. But the journey to get there is different. So that's why there's not like, you would think like everybody would be like, oh, it was the natural, like, oh, I started home brewing, then I did this. And that's not even the case. After episode 100 comes out in a few days. Oh, I mean, on this coming Sunday.
No.
But I haven't had one similar story. I mean, like, there's some like where little bits and pieces, but no, like there's never been anything identical.
Yeah, so, I feel that story. Like, I started as a home brewer, then that, but I mean, for the most, there's everyone's journey is completely different.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you almost did something completely different with your life, and and if it wasn't for your dad, like, who knows, right?
Oh, dude, and I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have been the world's worst social worker if I'm being honest. I don't know.
It happens.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, damn, I could be like suit and tying this life up and
Yeah.
couldn't be more opposite of what I am now.
Oh, it happens, brother. Last two things I have for you. First one, I always love to ask is like desert island beers. You can pick one craft,
No,
one domestic. What
that's
would you go with?
easy. That is a no brainer. I've been saying this for years.
Love it.
Allagash White is my desert island
Okay.
beer.
Love it.
Not a question. There's not even a second or third place. I think Allagash White is the most elite example of a beer style, so much that like you almost just expect it to be named gold at GABF and World Beer Cup every year.
That's awesome.
It's just the most elite example of a Belgian beer. Like they just knock that out of the park. And I think it's the best anytime beer, the best breakfast beer, the best football game beer, the best winter beer, the best summer beer around a fire, the best any situation you're in. I think Allagash White would be my desert island beer.
Okay. Love that. You know what? I said there was two questions. I have one more. Well, actually, just two more. If someone was going to Wichita Brewing, what would be like? You say like you tell them they order this beer first. What would you tell them?
Oh fuck! I'd say just like
I guess it could depend on the style. Yeah.
Well, again, that's a little tough because I would say you got to try our barley wine, obviously, because we got some accolades. But I think we have a great amber ale. I think our amber ale. I mean, I don't know too many people doing it, but I think we have a fantastic amber ale. Try that.
Awesome.
But yeah, the barley wine doesn't make a lot of sense. I think the barley wine is the most impractical beer of all time in the sense of nobody wants to order 12 ounces of barley wine at the bar. Like maybe they'd split a bomber. They split a bomber at home with the wife or the husband or the homie, but
yeah,
they don't want to order 12 ounces of barley wine at the bar.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, at least for me, like I know there's some people out there that that may do that or may love it, but for me, it's like nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one. What is your favorite food to pair with a beer? I know Kansas. I mean, I love Kansas City barbecue. So, I mean,
dude, I'll be honest with you. I might be rare in this, but I'm just not a foodie. Like,
okay.
I'm like a steak and potatoes guy. I mean, I'm like a super picky-ish eater in the sense of like, I could eat just piece of steak for every day and I wouldn't matter. Like if I was going to New York next week, I wouldn't be like, I gotta go to this deli. I gotta go to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really base like vacations or trips or really anything around food, to be honest with you. I've been on plenty of vacations where everyone's like, well, where are we going to eat? I'm like, dude, let's just find a place and just walk in. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just not a foodie like that.
That's good. It's cool though. I mean, it's as long as, if they have a cold beer and some good food, who cares, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever gives me the best base in my stomach to be able to drink more. Maybe like
love that answer.
I don't know, maybe like cheese curds or something. I don't know.
Hey, you can't go wrong with them, man. Gotta love a good cheese curd.
Oh, I love a good cheese curd, but yeah, I'm just not a foodie.
Oh man, I would probably like. I mean, it always switches for me, but I would like a good like burger with like a crisp lager all day.
Burger, classic, yes. We got people always arguing around town about what the best burger in Wichita is. So,
okay,
yeah, dude, if you ever make it here, man, I promise you, and I say this to everyone, and I'm not disappointed.
Yeah,
come to Wichita, Kansas, and when you leave, you will think, "Damn, that was fun." Like you won't be.
I'm in.
Disappointed,
yeah.
I promise.
Oh, I'm in, and and at least I have an excuse. I can go out there and see my mom in Overland, and I'll just get a rental car and drive up.
Of course. I always think it's funny.
Perfect.
Each year, I bring in these people from around the country, and I say, "What did your wife say when you said, hey, I'm going to Wichita, Kansas in January for a beer fest. I would assume she's just going to say, "You're cheating on me."
Yeah.
Like what? Like the reactions from couples, I would love to hear it.
That's funny.
But yeah, man. So
oh man, this has been so much fun. Cody, thank you so much for coming on the show. And everybody listening, check out the Less Hate More Lager podcast, and then also follow him at Cody_Sher_Wood on Instagram. Just funny dude, good dude, and obviously promoting the right message in the industry, and I love that, man.
We're trying, man. We are trying to get the message out there that it's the best industry in the world, and that obviously try to keep your mental health as up as possible. So,
that's all we can do. Well, thanks again, brother. Like we'll chit chat a little bit more off air, but
cool.
Thanks again so much.
Cool.
All right, cheers. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it was a really fun conversation with Cody. Can't say enough good things about him. I'm pretty tired. So here comes the San Diego tour. Enjoy.
Today we're in San Diego for Mike's birthday. First stop, Pure Project. And which one is this one? Location? The one on 5th. Well, 5th. Yeah, we're at Pure Project, and Taylor got the first round. I'm trying what's the name of it again? Experience Preferred collaboration with Green Cheek, and I'm gonna jump into it.
Yeah, I had to do it last year. The year before. I know. Yeah. Right.
Very good. No, bomb. Big fat 10. It's great beer. A little citrusy, not too hoppy. Very good. What do you think? Yeah, it's bomb for sure. See, I'm a singer. I just want to put it right there.
I want to be all up on it. You just keep going.
You forgot the name, huh?
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, still at Pure Project. I got the Hydra Squared. It's a mango dragon fruit heart smoothie. It was pretty good. Still working on it.
Give it a rank.
A live drink. I give it an 8.
Damn.
I'll give it an 8. They've had better. They have other smoothies here that I like more.
450 vibes?
Yeah, but they do a good job here. But yeah, this is stop 1 and more to come.
All right,
you can pull
first one.
Project
at Pure Project, Experience Prefer. Give it a 9.
Solid, huh?
Yeah, sweet, citrusy.
That's what I got.
Good. Not too bitter.
All right, we're over here at Pure Project. First stop of the day. I'm having the Pure West or West Coast IPA. It's always one of my favorites. It's going to be a day. We had what came down to OTMC first. Had some good food. Had a Pacifico. Then I went and got my root beer that I always get at the little root beer jerky place. And yeah, now here going to having this Pure West is one of my favorites. It's always so good. I'm going to actually think I'm going to get their Rain, their Pilsner. I'm going to buy one of their Pilsner glasses too. It's so good over here. Pure, you can't go wrong with Pure.
Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
Pure West is one of my favorites, so easily big fat 10. On to the next.
What's up, guys? Taylor. Doing an extra one here for John's podcast. We are at Pure Project out here in the lovely San Diego. And I am drinking the Experience Preferred Pure Project collab with Green Cheek Hazy. Very delicious, very murky. It's what you would expect from Pure Project and Green Cheek. Solid hazy. Solid.
All right. So we're over at Bay City right now. Bay City Brewing over in San Diego, downtown. Not far from Petco Park, one of the most beautiful baseball parks out there. I got the Chili Nelson, the cold IPA. Who's got the other mic?
I have the other mic.
Oh, okay.
I got the House IPA, which is the Bay City IPA.
Okay.
7 point something. 7.2.
7 something dark side.
Okay. Huh?
No, it's picking it up.
Yeah.
I could, yeah. I'm going to leave all this in, by the way.
I know. Way to go. Yeah. Oh, let me try it.
Yeah, jump in. Water's fine. Oh, dude, that cold off. That is good. That's really good.
Okay. This one's not bad. It's not really my speed, but this is not bad. You're going to give yours a ranking?
Oh, dude, yeah. I'll probably give this like 8. 8.5.
You're an 8?
Yeah, well, maybe a 9. I love a good cold IPA. You don't see them.
Yeah.
Like as often. I mean, I think you're starting to see them more, but you don't see them as often. Damn, that's really good. Yeah. I'm teetering between like an 8, 8.5, and a 9. I'm gonna go 9. Fuck it.
Okay. I'm kind of in the 6s with this one. I'm gonna give it a 8, 6, 8.
Okay, not bad.
Not bad.
Nah. Christopher?
I am drinking the Ron Burgundy. Yeah.
I had that one last year.
Yeah. It's solid. I like it. Kind of crushable. If I give it a score, I would probably give it about a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Not bad.
Beautiful spot, beautiful brewery. I love the spots and like the ambiance and the views that you get from sitting up top. It's awesome.
Next time we're gonna go 1 to 100. That'll be the
1 to 100.
yeah, that's gonna be the next one.
Give me a big fat 0.
Yeah. Now, if you want to jump in on this, okay, I'm not gonna do that. Of course, now it makes me walk it over to him.
It's ready to go.
Yeah, it's already good. Yeah,
we're at Bay City in downtown Santiago. Stop number 2. I'm having the Coco Ono. It's really, really good. I think it was a hazy. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
There you go.
Solid 8.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, so sorry.
Pizza's on the way soon. And yeah, puke update. Mike hasn't thrown up yet.
Oh yeah, I haven't puked yet.
Night is still early. And
only our second brewery, so you never know.
We will get his food out of him one way or another. All right. See you guys later.
Yeah. Andrew, you want to do yours?
Yeah.
Anda.
The second beer, Chili Nelson. I'm gonna get another drink.
You got the Chili Nelson?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got too. It's good. I like it a lot. Actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not too bitter. Just
it's super easy drinking.
Yeah. It's got the perfect amount of everything.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, so this is Shelby. I got passion fruit seltzer. It's a sour. It's really good. I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. It has like can I like talk? Oh, it has like a weird little aftertaste, but I'm not really a big fan of passion fruit. But I think it's like the only sour that they had. So I'll give it like an 8 out of 5.
8 out of 5?
I mean, yeah.
He's like, I'll give it an 8 out of 5.
I'm already buzzed.
I'm Taylor. I work at Bay City Brewing. I've been here a little over 2 years. My personal favorite beer is the Juicy Gang. Hands down, best IPA I've ever had.
Okay, so we're at North Park right now. Obviously, it's a little loud in here. I'm going to try to get some of that audio out of there. But, well, I mean, yeah, fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. But we're at North Park, one of my favorite places out here. Every beer's a banger. Kelsey, his entire team, they do a phenomenal job. And they just did a collab with Russian River called Elder Fu. It's a double dry hop West Coast IPA, or double IPA, actually, coming in at 8%. It's a banger. We all took a sip earlier before we started recording this, and it's a big, fat fucking 10. It's so good. Andrew's sitting next to me. What do you think? I'm going to bring it towards the good day.
Let me give it another sip real quick.
There you go. Good. Oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, speak to it.
Yeah, I can crush the shit out of that. Jizzy, you're up. What do you think?
Yeah, great beer, great West Coast, super crisp, very hoppy.
Yeah, super hoppy. Love it.
But I love that. That's that's what I would expect from Russian River. Like Mike said, big fat 10, big fat 12.
Big fat 12.
Yeah, great beer. I'm gonna go in another one.
Yeah.
Solid. This is like an everyday double IPA.
Oh yeah. Now easily, like
crisp, clean, doesn't linger on the tongue.
If they made this like all year round,
yeah.
Fuck, dude, yeah.
I might cream my shorts. So
yeah.
We're gonna keep going.
Yeah, Chris Taylor.
All right,
Chris Taylor's coming up next.
Taylor, you're up.
Taylor,
and then it's gonna go like that.
Taylor, what do you think of the Elder Fu?
What's up here, Taylor? We are drinking the Elder Fu. What is this percentage wise?
8 even.
8 even. And it is a solid beer. It is solid. It is something that I didn't think I would like, but the more and more I drink it, it's just a solid quality beer. I would have to give this one a big fat 10 for me. This one is just one that just kind of knocked it out of the park for me. No pun intended at North Park.
All right, Navi's coming up next.
Ready? Okay, so we're at North Park now. My blood alcohol content is higher than average. I just got the Elder Fu, and I am good. We got the Elder Fu. Said that already. Here at North Park, I'm gonna another one. Can't chug this. I'm gonna honestly, I'll give it like an 8. Not really my thing.
Hey, an 8's good.
Yeah, for me, the 8's high. But what's higher is the milligrams I had of something
Okay.
that I ingested an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Let's keep this going.
Hey, that's what happens when you have the devil's lettuce.
There you go.
Maddie, how are the French fries?
Good.
What do you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10?
A 10.
Ooh, are they crunchy?
That's an odd yes.
Do you like the lemonade? What do you rate the lemonade?
10.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.
94.7 the way. We got some bangers coming out of North Park, San Diego. Hope all your cool cats are staying nice and cool on this hot Saturday afternoon. We're going to hit you with and I swear by the moon and stars in the sky, I'll be there. I swear. Yeah.
Now it's good. Okay, so we're still in North Park. Christopher and I got that fantastic pills. So West Coast pills. It's brewed with Mosaic, Citra, Crush, Cryo, YCH-303. So it's an experimental. And Phantasm. Coming in at 5%. This might be the best West Coast pills I have put in my mouth this year. And I just had Elderfoo, and that might have been one of the best West Coasts I've put in my mouth this year. I mean, there's a lot of things going in my mouth, but those are two of the best. Like really good. Maybe get your guys' mind out of the gutter, huh? I'm just over here trying to enjoy a few beers. Christopher, what did you think of it?
I am drinking the same thing as John Boy here. We are drinking the Phantasm, and it is a very crushable, very likable West Coast pills. Usually for me, West Coast IPAs, Pilsners are usually kind of on the hoppier side. This one here, it comes in solid right down the middle. It's a fantastic beer with great flavor, and it's very crushable. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a big fat 10. This is a very great Pilsner. Everything that they're able to pam in this one to only be a 5% is extraordinary, but it's an extraordinary beer.
Okay, so this is stop 4. Well, technically stop 6. Because we're at Barley and Sword. Goal is right here. Seek is right here. But I'm starting off being off with Barley and Sword. I'm having the Czech Pills Liberation. I was having the California Common. I don't know what percentage it is, but it's fucking great. Now, how do you think yours?
I think it was a 12-4, I want to say.
Okay.
But, I don't know. I got the California Common. It was called Stillwell Steam, I think. Yeah. And then it's okay. I think it's like a 6. It's okay. Not a big red ale guy. But
It's a brown. More
brown, red.
California Common's more.
Is the dress blue or white? It's up to you.
Either way. Jizzy already has it.
Yeah, so I went to Goal for my first beer, and I got the Ube Hazy. Super rich in color, deep purple, like Prince. Very good flavor, like almost like a oat cream on the flavor.
You like oat cream?
For a hazy, I can't really judge it on like a fruited hazy or whatever because I never had anything with ube in it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Very good beer. Also, I skated here, and yeah,
You skated here.
I skated here.
Oh, you
And
all the way from North Park?
yeah, I shredded some curbs.
Okay.
But yeah, Taylor's up.
Grinded a couple rails.
Grinding a couple rails. I fucking tray flipped off the roof, but
What'd you have, Taylor?
Taylor here again. I do not know which one I got. It is a hazy. It is very good. I am nursing it now, and
Nothing.
I'm sorry. No, I got it from Goal.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it's
Cans
Goal
with
on the glass. Fool.
Oh shit! They can still hear me.
Yeah, I'm not sure which beer this is. Great hazy beer. Definitely smashable. I will give this one an 8.
Nice.
Hey, this is Cyrus. I've been here at Goal since we opened back in July 2023. And currently, my favorite beer on the board right now is our reference design single West Coast IPA.
And here comes another musical snack.
From Coast 103.5.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away. Fucking something happens. You gotta catch your place when they're sitting at
Something's going on. All right, puke check.
Next year is to 19.
We were technically 6 breweries.
6?
Yeah, because we went to Pure, Bay City, North Park, and then the 3 breweries there. Goal, Seek, and Barley and Swords. Puke check. Haven't puked yet.
See, that's bullshit.
What do you mean?
Because he's not drunk.
You need to puke.
Oh, I need to puke. Oh, that's hurtful. I'm actually kind of drunk.
No, he's. Oh, I'm drunk. I didn't throw up.
Yo, gin shots.
Jesse, don't say it loud, dude. He can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear everything. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it was a really fun time. Thank you, to my friends and my family everyone was able to go, and just a blast. Every time we go down there, it's always fun. I'm burnt out, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget what do I have coming up? Next week is the Brew Stilled podcast. The week after that is going to be the Bridget and Yvette episode, and then I believe it will be. I can't think at the moment. All right. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'll figure it out. I hope you guys have a great week. Don't forget to get out there and support local, drink local, and find your beer. Cheers.